Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for joining. I think we were facing some issues, but I think now the issue has been resolved. Thank you for being patient. Thank you to all the participants who have been watching us. So we are really blessed to have Prabhuji with us today, live from ISKCON Bangalore. He has been an inspiration and he has been such a motivation to all of us. Today we are going to learn few lessons from Bhagavad Gita. Although it's not possible to learn everything, but I'll request how much ever it's possible, we'll try to learn from you. Over to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Welcome all of you for today's session once again. I just like to start with a small prayers quickly before we plunge into the lessons of Bhagavad Gita. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. Thank you so much. So Bhagavad Gita has been a great book. In fact, this is the book which has been available for the entire mankind for the last 5,000 years. There is no book in the entire world which is as old as Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes we all know during our school days, college days, we have textbooks, we have syllabus, and we also know that that syllabus keeps changing and it keeps getting updated. Even our mobile, for example, software keeps sending us notification that you need to update now. If you don't update after some time, you won't be able to use your mobile because software requires an update. Our textbooks, syllabus, everything keeps getting updated. But there is one knowledge which there is no update for that knowledge because that knowledge is so perfect, and that is Bhagavad Gita. You don't find this Bhagavad Gita was updated 100 years back or 50 years back. Without any update, whatever knowledge 5,000 years back was spoken by Krishna is relevant even today. Now, somebody may say, oh, it was spoken 5,000 years ago. Their situations were different. Their problems were different. Their lifestyle was different. And people were different. Today, we are different. Our situations are different. How is it applicable to us? Yes, actually, so many external things may change, but our internal problem remain the same. Now, what is the major problem of, in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita that made Krishna speak Bhagavad Gita? As you all know, Bhagavad Gita was spoken in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. There was a war between Kauravas and Pandavas, and the war was about to begin. It is not yet started, but it is about to begin. So at that time, the hero from the Pandava side, Arjuna, he says, Krishna, I want to see who all have come to participate in this war. I just want to have a look. And then Krishna brings the chariot and parks the chariot in front of Drona, the teacher of Arjuna, and Bhishma, the grandfather of Arjuna. Then by seeing all his family members and relatives and friends, Arjuna immediately feels extremely sad that I have to fight with my own family members. And he says, I think I don't want to fight. He says, I don't want to fight and I don't want kingdom. I don't want any victory. I just want to go to forest and we don't want better. I don't want to do this fight. Now, if you see, today we may not be in any battlefield. We don't have to go to any war with arrows, with bows and with weapons in our hand. And there is nobody standing in front of us that we have to shoot an arrow, right? So it is not like we are in a situation like Arjuna in the battlefield. But still Bhagavad Gita is relevant in our life. It is because of many reasons. Let us see today one or two reasons. One of the reasons is Arjuna says, he says, I don't know what is right, whether fighting is right or not fighting is right. He says that I'm confused. In the second chapter, Arjuna says, I'm confused. You see, many of us in our life, we go through this kind of confusion. It may not be war. Maybe I don't know whether I should take up examination this year or next year. Should I, get into this relationship or not? Is it the right time to go ahead or not? Or should I take up this career or some other type of a job? So there are always certain decisions that we need to make in our life, and there is some kind of a confusion, and we exactly don't know what to do. Shishyasteham shadiman tvam prapannam dharma sammoda chetaha. Arjuna says, I am confused. I don't know exactly what is the right thing to do. Now, I can ask all of you who are there watching live, are you, have you ever faced confusion like this in our life? What is the right thing to do, right? So that is the similarity that we see with Arjuna. Just like Arjuna was confused, we are also confused. And this confusion is there at individual level. This confusion is there at organization level. This confusion is there for politicians at the national level, international level. Should Russia fight with Ukraine or not? So the decision has to be made. Whether America has to put sanction against Russia or not, there has to be some decision to do or not to do. Sometimes it is not very easy in our life, right? So like that, now Arjuna is representing all of our situation in our life. Many times to do or not to do. And another important thing is when there is a challenge in front of us, like Arjuna's challenge was, he has to fight with his own family members or with own relatives or friends, because the Kauravas happen to be his own known people. Now, at that time, it was not an easy task. There were a lot of emotions in his mind. So he was going through a lot of emotions. How can I do this? Will I be able to do this? So many times in our life also, we go through a lot of emotional challenges. So that means what comes to our mind is self-management. Self-management means how much are we able to manage our own emotions before we actually take up any task. Today, we are able to manage many things outside. We are able to manage, satellites. We are able to manage so many gadgets. We are able to manage the robots. We are able to manage computers, software. But how many of us are able to manage inside world? We are able to manage outside world very nicely, but how many of us are good at managing inside world? Like if I ask you, when somebody makes you angry, right? That anger is inside us. We are going through anger, which is making us very disturbed inside. How many of us know how to manage our inside world? It could be anger, it could be greed. Greed means the desire to get more and more beyond our capacity. It feels like, I should go on acquiring. So they say generally kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, like jealousy, enviousness, anger, greed, lust, all those things, that is like an internal weather. Now, in the winter season, the North India, it's very cold, right? I stay in Bangalore most of the time, so it's very moderate weather. Let's say whenever I come to Vrindavan, Mathura, Delhi, it's very cold in January, February, December. So what do? I manage my weather by having a room heater. I'll have something so that I feel comfortable. Or if it is summer, it is too hot, and then I manage the weather by having the AC. I have the cooler, so now it becomes easy for me to the weather. But that is outside weather. But how do we manage our inside weather? Like Arjuna in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, he is openly saying, I'm not able to manage my internal emotions, my internal weather. So all of us go through this. How do we manage? the anger? How do we manage the temptation, greed? How do we manage the jealous, enviousness, and all those things? So Bhagavad Gita teaches how one can manage the internal world. Because today, what we are all missing in our life is, we think if outside world is good, in our life everything is good. If outside success, visible success, how people in the outside world recognize me, how much they can see in my success, my name, my fame, or my health, means everything what is visible, whatever outside world. So we think that is very important, and we think what happens inside us is not so important. But actually it is not true. Both are very important. Inside what is happening, outside what is happening, both are equally important. We cannot neglect, we cannot ignore even one side. Like for example, when you look at a tree, how the tree grows. If you carefully observe, the tree always grows in two directions. It will never grow only one direction. It will grow outside, it will also grow inside. The roots are going inside, and the tree outside is growing. But what is visible to our eyes? What is visible to our eyes is only what is growing externally, right? When we build any building, you see what is visible to all our eyes is the external structure. But what is holding that external structure is the foundation, the roots. When there is a heavy rain, when there is a heavy wind that blows, at that time the tree is not falling down, because the roots inside are holding the tree very strongly. So Bhagavad Gita teaches how to grow our roots inside very deep, very, like, have that strong foundation before we build the building. Before the building goes up, first it goes down. First we build the foundation, we go deep inside. So likewise, Bhagavad Gita says, if you want to be successful in your life, then if you do not have the foundation, if you don't have the roots inside very strong, then your so-called success in the outside world is very temporary. The moment there is a wind, the rain, the tree will topple. Similarly, if there is any difficulty in our life, then we will not be able to handle. We see many times young people, intelligent people, like in IITs, sometimes they commit suicide, right? There is some kind of a failure in examination, or some relationship problem, or some career problem. So such intelligent people who are very successful in their life, they commit suicide. What is happening? They're unable to manage their inside world. They're unable to manage the feelings inside, the emotions inside. It is like building some 20-story building, but you've forgotten to build a foundation for that building. Then what will happen? The 20-story building may collapse at any time. So today, we have become so busy in our life, always working for the outside success, what people will see, what people will talk, what people will appreciate us, but we are paying very less attention inside. What is happening to me? How much strong I am inside? So Bhagavad Gita teaches how to become strong inside, like how to build a very strong foundation for any building. So that's what happened to Arjuna. The moment that there was a war, before war begins, he told, I'll not be able to fight. Many times we also feel in our life, before we are about to start something, we start getting doubts in our mind. Will I be able to do this? I think better I don't this. I think I should not do this. Like this kind of ideas. It is because internally we are not strong. So now Krishna speaks Bhagavad Gita. He gives wonderful knowledge, and that knowledge helps how to become strong inside. Like one or two, three examples, if I can take. Krishna gives the knowledge called Atma Jnana. That means he says who we are, actually who we are. Are we this body? Like if somebody asks you, who are you? Generally we say, okay, my name is, I am so and so. We tell our name. But then we have to think, am I the name, or do I have a name? Is it that I am the name or I have a name? There is a between this. no, no, I am not the name, but okay, if I'm not the name, then who I am? Okay, I'm probably, I'm a, I'm man or a woman, but that's a gender. I have a gender, but I'm not the gender. So like this, when you go on discovering yourself, you see you're actually Atma. You're actually the soul who's driving this body. Like we see, what is the difference between the dead body and the living person? If you see the difference between the person who is a living and the dead person, the dead body also has everything in the body. It has all the parts, and the eyes, nose, and everything, but there is something missing, and that is life, that is soul. Primarily we are soul, which never dies. Actually, soul never dies. We never die. It is only the body which dies. It is only the body which becomes older. It is only the body seized. But I, as the soul, I always remain energetic, powerful, and I have no death. So when we know who I am, then there is a different kind of a feeling. Like, for example, sometimes in the dream, when sometimes we get bad dreams, and in the bad dream, let's say tiger is chasing you, right? And when the tiger is chasing you, you have a lot of fear. Oh, tiger, tiger, tiger! You'll be like you'll be panting, you'll be sweating, but somebody wakes you up, and then you discover, oh, there is no tiger. Actually, I am, my dream is different. So when we discover who we are, then there is a different kind of a confidence. So Krishna gives the knowledge of Atma, who we are, how we are different from this body. And then he talks very important thing. He talks about controlling our mind, the importance of controlling the mind. In the 6th chapter, Krishna talks about this. He says that if you don't control your mind, your own mind will become your enemy. And if you control your mind, then your own mind will become best of your friends. So he says it is like a knife. When you have a knife, the knife in the hands of the doctor can save somebody's life. If the doctor is holding the knife in the hand, that means he'll do surgery and he'll save somebody's life. But if you give the same knife to a thief, a robber, or somebody who's a bad person, so he can use the same knife for taking somebody's life, to kill somebody. So the mind is like that. Mind is like a knife. It can either help you or it can destroy you. So now, how to use our own mind? You see, nowadays, many times people say that my mind is going crazy, I'm not able to control my mind. It is because we have not learned from our childhood how to deal with our mind. Like people nowadays, they go to gym, they go to fitness center, they know that importance of having a strong body, healthy body. But many of us don't understand having the importance of having the healthy mind, how important it is to have a healthy mind. If we don't have a healthy mind, the mind can really drive us crazy. It will not allow you to sleep. It will not allow you to be peaceful. Even though you have everything in your life, it will still keep you unhappy. It will keep you dissatisfied. So Krishna talks about importance of controlling the mind, importance of knowing who we are. And then most importantly, Krishna, another thing, talks about importance of having patience in our life, tolerance in our life. He says how important it is to have tolerance. Shitoshna sukha dukkeshu agama apayina tantitikshva bharata is a certain experiences in our life, like sukha and dukkha. Sukha and dukkha, the happiness and distress. We always look for happiness in our life. But you see that the problems also keep coming in our life. Nobody wants problem, but problems are inevitable. Even though you don't like it, they keep coming. So Krishna gives an example, just like the seasons, winter season, summer season, rainy season, they keep coming and they keep going also. They don't come and they don't stay forever. You don't see that, oh, okay, this winter season has come, but it is not going away. No, it comes, it stays for some time. But the good news is, after some time, it will disappear. There is no problem in our life which will stay forever in our life. So when we realize that, we feel hopeful. Okay, for example, if I'm going through bad time, if I'm going through some tough time, there is something not nice going on in my life, I don't have to worry, I don't have to bother. So because Krishna says the reality of this world is nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. All this, so-called bad time that comes in our life, it will disappear like the season. The bad season, sorry, winter season will come, it will go. Another season will come, summer will come, rainy season will come. Nothing is permanent. So one has to have patience. One has to have tolerant. You don't take any decisions that will destroy you during your tough time. See, most of the time, people, they take wrong decisions when there is a bad time going on in their life. They don't take any bad decision when if there is a good time. Most of the people, they commit suicide, or they leave some people and go away. Means they take what you say some kind of a disturbing decisions when the bad time is going on. So Krishna says, you please wait, have patience, tolerate it, because the bad time will end. It is not permanent in our life. So like this, the importance of self-management, how much I'm able to control myself internally. Like if you're driving, if you are a driver, if you know how to drive a vehicle, you know the importance of the brake. Imagine you're driving a vehicle where there is no brake. What will happen in that scenario? You will meet with an accident. How horrible it will be to drive a vehicle without a brake. That means when it requires to reduce the speed, or it requires to stop the vehicle, you'll not be able to stop. Like that, if somebody comes and provokes you, they make you angry. If you don't know how to put brake to your feelings, that means if you don't have self-management, then unfortunately you will meet with accidents in your life. You will take some decisions, you will do some actions which will be very, very dangerous in our life. So it is very important to have self-management. To have self-management, we need to know how to control our internal weather, and that's what Bhagavad Gita teaches. And in order to do that, we have to control our mind. Controlling the mind is very, very important. And if we don't control mind, the same mind becomes our enemy. And if you control your mind, the same mind becomes best of your friends. And then the importance of tolerance and patience. So there are many, many teachings that Bhagavad Gita teaches, and these are some timeless lessons. Whether it is 5,000 years back, or it is today, or even after maybe 10,000 years, people will have the same issues: patience, tolerance, and how to control our inside weather. Whether you're a king or you're an ordinary citizen, whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're successful or you're an ordinary person, we all have the same problem. What is that? Confusion, how to make decisions, how to know what is right, what is wrong, and how to tolerate, how to have patience. These are all eternal problems. These problems everybody will have, whether you are an American or an Indian, whether you are an Australian or you're an African. Everybody have this problem. Nobody can say, oh, I don't have any problem in making decision. Yes, we all go through these issues. So that is why Bhagavad Gita is not a knowledge only for Hindus. It is not for only one religious people. It is a scientific knowledge. It is for everyone. If you are a human being, you have human issues. Like for example, if you are a human being, you'll have hungry. Like you get hungry. So when you get hungry, it is not only Hindus are feeling hungry, and some other religious people don't feel hungry. If you're a human being, anybody will feel hungry. So if you're a human being, anybody will have confusion. Anybody will have patience problem. Anybody will have tolerance problem. Everybody has mind. Everybody has a mind control problem. So these topics are not just for Hindus. Bhagavad Gita is not just for Hindu people. It is for everyone. So anybody can read Bhagavad Gita. Anybody can learn these lessons. And once they learn these lessons, their life becomes better life. They will now have better control over their life. And once you have the better life, just like if your vehicle now it has a brake, sufficient brake, you can ride that vehicle anywhere and you'll still be safe. And if you don't have brake, and then your ride is not safe, anytime any accidents can happen. So I suggest that all of you who are hearing this, watching this live, please understand the importance of Bhagavad Gita. It is not just a religious book, it is actually a manual for our life. When somebody teaches you how to drive a vehicle, you can't say, oh, this is religion, I don't want to learn driving. No, driving is nothing to do with any religion. Driving is a life skill. It will help you to save your life. It will help you to travel faster. Like that, learning how to control our mind, learning how to manage inside, learning how to build foundation inside, learning how to develop patience, tolerance. These are all life skills. They're nothing to do with any religion. So it is very important that we spend time. We should not think that Bhagavad Gita is meant for old people. When you become old, at that time I will sit and read Bhagavad Gita. What is the use of learning driving when you become old? When you become old, then at that time, already all of your life is gone. So if you learn driving at the young age, whole life you can take advantage of the driving. You can do many things in a so nice manner. So we should not think it is for old people. We should not delay it. It is so important that we learn at the earliest and take advantage of this. So I think these are some of the points I just wanted to share. And I'll be happy to see if there are any questions, and we can have any discussion if anybody wants to have.
Absolutely. I think that was so enlightening. Thank you so much. So we have got a bunch of questions, and the questions, as you said, they mostly revolve around the same topics: how to deal with negativity, how to face depression, how to manage time, how to manage multitasking. So, the problems we shared, we learned that, Bhagavad Gita has taught us what is the importance of, all of these things. So what is the solution to this problem, or, whatever the people are facing? So what is the solution to it?
Okay. Can we take one by one questions so that we become more focused and specific? So if
Sure.
you could ask me questions one after other. Yes.
Sure. So the first question that came up is how to deal with negativity. Even when I'm chanting, or even when I am spending time with myself, at times I feel that I'm not able to concentrate. Different thoughts come up in my mind. So how to deal with that?
It's a very important question. Most of us have this problem. In fact, everybody has this problem. Okay, let's see this. See, it's very important that we need to understand. Bhagavad Gita says our body and mind is like a machine. So see, this is very important knowledge. We are Atma, we are soul, we are the users of the machine. Like, just to give you an example, there is a mobile and there is a user. You are the user, you are not the mobile, right? Mobile is different from you. You use the mobile, but you are not the mobile. So we need to understand my body and my mind is like a machine. It is there with me and I'm using that machine. So now, but this is a very wonderful, very powerful machine. Our mind is a machine which records our thinking, our feeling, and our decisions. It is a decision recording machine. It is a feeling recording machine, and it records your thinking. Now, just like in all of our mobile, we have a voice recorder. When you take voice recorder and say, I hate you, it will simply record as it is. And when you press the play button, it will play the same thing. I hate you, I hate you. So the negativity is nothing but whatever old recordings we have done in our mind. So whatever you say, your mind just records it. See, when you take your own voice recorder and say, I don't like you, it will simply record. It will not oppose you. It will not say, why are you saying like this? It won't say. It will simply record. And later, whenever you press the play button, it will repeat whatever you have recorded. So the negativity is nothing but our old negative recordings. So the most of the times, unknowingly, we keep recording the negative things. We feel bad about ourselves, or others say something bad about us. So what we have done, unfortunately, as I told you, if we do not know how to control our mind, we have switched on the recording button always. So it is always recording whatever negative things are going on. Now it keeps playing back to you. Whatever you have recorded, it keeps playing back to you. So the most important thing is, whenever you get a negative thought in your mind, you should understand there is difference between my old recording today. my what I feel. Like, just to give an example, if you have a voice recorder and you say when you press the play button, some old voice will play back to you. You know that, okay, right now this is not my voice. This is 2 days back I recorded. So you need to understand, when the negativity comes, like mind can record negative, it can also record positive. So we should focus on recording more positive things. That means we should hear more positive things, because what you hear, what you feel, what you think, the mind is recording. That is why we say, please read positive books. Read positive books like Bhagavad Gita. Hear more positive words. Be with positive people. Because when you're with positive people, your mind keeps recording all the positivity, and it plays back to you. So more the positivity goes inside, more the positivity is being played back to you. So negativity is nothing but the old negative recordings. And if you wish, you can delete all that. And the deleting process, like we can, in our voice recordings, in our mobile, it gives you an option of deleting. Similarly, we can delete. And easiest way of deleting is mantra meditation. Whenever you do meditation, during the meditation, especially by using some powerful mantras, they go deep inside us. That is why they're called mantra. The meaning of the word mantra, mana trayate, anything that delivers the negativity from your mind is called mantra. That is the Sanskrit meaning of mantra. So when you chant mantra, for example, we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This mantra, when you hear it and it goes inside your mind, it deletes the negativity. It deletes negativity from the back end. So one is, be with positive people, read positive stuff like Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and other things, and hear positive things, and then chant mantras. You will be very easily able to handle negativity. This is something that immediately I can say. Maybe some other time we can elaborately talk about it.
Sure, absolutely. So the next question comes is how to build your patience and determination. I think that goes along the same lines that you have been sharing recently. So it's like you have to delete all the negative things. The ways are chanting mantra, listening to good, positive music, positive books, right? So I think that covers. Anything else you would like to add, Prabhuji?
Patience, we need to we remember the mango example. You see, mango in the beginning, it doesn't taste so nice. If you take a raw mango, right? It's mango, but it is in the raw stage. When you take the raw mango and eat it, it is sour in taste. It is not sweet. If you want sweet taste, there is no alternative in the nature. You have to wait, tolerate for some days. Naturally, it will become sweet. See, we need to understand there are some laws of nature, right? The mango from the day one will not give you sweet mangoes. First, it will be sour mango, and then it will become sweet mango. In our life, there are many situations which seem difficult, but we need to know there is no alternate for patience. You have to have some natural patience. So for that, yes, of course, we need positivity, confidence, and how to build patience. Of course, by doing yoga and meditation, and taking inspiration from the great examples, by reading the biographies of great people, you will see how always patience give a good result. I think in Hindi also there is one kahavat. They say that sabr ka phal hamesha meeta hota hai. I mean, I'm not good at Hindi, but I'm just saying it. I hope, sabr means like if you wait, at the end, you'll always get a very sweet fruit out of it. So that's one point I just wanted to mention.
Absolutely. I think this is true for anybody. Like whenever we start off, it is always the difficult phase, right? The moment we start going, things go well, it keeps on aligning in what we are trying to achieve, and then slowly and gradually it becomes so sour, sweet. So I think that's very much relatable. The example that you just mentioned, that every mango is sour in the beginning and gradually it becomes sweet. I think that's very, very relatable for everyone in every aspect of their life.
No, we can see that in the nature itself. I mean, nature is telling us, see, mango is sour, but just wait. Don't say, oh, mango is not sweet. Let me throw it. Don't throw, just wait. It will become sweet.
Right.
I mean, we can learn a lot of lessons from the nature, right? Today, our
Absolutely.
problem is, you see, Amazon delivers in 40 minutes, Swiggy, Zomato delivers immediately. So we want everything to be like that. So instant delivery. Okay, some things are possible, some things you have to wait. There is no other alternative. You go to gym, from the day one, you cannot have the 6 apps. You have to work out. You have to have patience. You have to do hard work. Can you say, today I'll go, tomorrow I'll have 6 apps? It's not possible. We need patience. So patience is always, you just can't avoid it. You want sweet fruit, then have patience.
Right. And I think another very important question that comes up every day or sometime or the other is how to stay happy and contented with whatever we have.
Okay. Thank you for asking this question. I really like whoever has asked this question. Actually, today we are all learning, unfortunately, not to be happy with how much ever we have. In fact, people are not happy despite having so many things in their life. There are people who are not happy even after joining IIT. There are people who are not happy even after getting very big salary. People are very beautiful, but still they think I'm not happy, I'm not beautiful. Happiness is never dependent on how much we have. Happiness is an attitude. Happiness is independent of what you have or what you don't have. There are very poor people who are happy. There are handicapped people who are happy. There are Happiness is independent. We think in our mind, if I have that, then I'll be happy. If I get that, then I'll be happy. But it is not like that. Bhagavad Gita says happiness is an attitude. You need to be grateful. You need to recognize, I already have so much in my life. I already have X, Y, Z. I have A, B, C, D. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So happiness comes when you start focusing on what you have. When you focus what you don't have, you will be unhappy. You will be dissatisfied. Please, one thing we all need to understand is there will always be something we will not have in our life. That's the reality. We are not God. God is the one who has everything 100%. We don't try to become God right now and say that, I should have everything as per my expectation. We can have wish, but we should also learn to reality. In reality, if you sit down one day and write down the list, you will see there are so many things we already have in our life. At least we're able to see. We have the vision to see. There are so many people who cannot see. Imagine a life without eyes. How difficult it will be. Imagine a life we can't speak, right? We are able to speak. I'm able to see. I'm able to hear. I get food. I'm able to have friends. There are so many things we have. So happiness is an attitude of being grateful, attitude of observing what we already have. That's called in Bhagavad Gita, Yadricha Labha Santushta Ena Kenach. I'll tell you a very small story for 1 or 2 minutes for this. There was one servant who was working in one palace during the king's time. So he used to be very happy. He would clean the room, clean, sweeping, mopping the room, and he'll be singing the song, enjoying his work. The king who saw this, he became very surprised. He said, I'm the king. I've got so much of facilities, so much of property, all that servant, but I'm not so happy. He's only servant. How can he be more happy than me? I'm the king. Then he asked his minister, my dear minister, how can my servant be more happy than me? Then the minister told, my dear king, he's so happy because he's not the member of 99 club. Then king told, what is that 99 club? Then he told, okay, I will tell you what is 99 club. Next day morning, when the servant opened the door in the morning, he saw one small bag. And when they opened the bag, there were 99 gold coins. And there was gold coins. They became so happy. Oh, gold coins, gold coins. But when they counted, they were 99. So they felt, oh, what is this 99? Che, it would have been nice if it was 100. Now, they thought, let us make it 100. You see, now what happened is, their attention is not on 99. Their attention is on one coin which they don't have. Now they're thinking, okay, how to get that coin, so one coin, so that it becomes 100 so that it becomes 100 coins. Now they're working day and night. Now husband is working, wife is working, children are working just to earn more money to get the last 100 coin. They're not able to enjoy the 99 gold coin because they're focused on the 100th coin which they don't have. So in our life, unfortunately, we are like this. We are unhappy because our focus is on what we don't have. Those who are happy, they are happy because their focus is on what they have. If you want to be happy, if you want to be positive, if you don't want to get depressed in your life, please learn to focus. Count your blessings. Write down how many things you already have. Be grateful. You see how much happy you will have. At the end, there is something called gratitude diary. Before we go to sleep, that day we write down what all today I had in my life, how many things I had, good things in my life. You will see day by day, in 1 month, you'll become very happy person. So this is the secret behind happiness. Focus on what you have, not what you don't have, because there will always be something we will not have. There will always be something we will have.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have another question. She has asked, I find it hard to forgive people. How can I do, what can I do so that I become better at it?
Okay. Very interesting question. Thank you again for asking this. Forgiveness is very important if you want to stay healthy, if you want to stay happy and peaceful. Forgiveness is very important. See, one thing we need to understand when it comes to forgiveness, forgiveness is not for another person. Forgiveness is for myself. If I want to be peaceful, I have to forgive. Sometimes we think, I'll not forgive that person. It is like you drinking the poison, expecting other person to die. Other person is not going to die. You will die because you are the one who is drinking the poison. So carrying the grudge, carrying that anger, carrying the sad, it is like you drinking the poison. Nothing is going to happen to another person. We are the one who will have problem. It is like you hold the fire in your hand and expecting other person to get burned. It will burn us before it will burn other person. So forgiveness is very, very important if we want to be peaceful. Now, what helps you to develop this forgiveness is, like all of us in our life, we have seen when you order something on Mintra, Amazon, Flipkart, some delivery people come to deliver, right? Now, when the delivery people come, they deliver whatever you have ordered. Now, they come and deliver an iPhone, for example. You don't go and, oh my God, you're such a nice person. You gave me iPhone. You don't glorify that person for iPhone because he's just a courier person. He delivered whatever I have ordered, whatever I have paid. Like that, if somebody gives you something not nice, you don't become angry at that person. Like olden days, we used to get telegram, somebody's death news, or sometimes the postman also comes and delivers you some good news. So the postman is only delivering whatever is already destined to you. He is not responsible. So we need to understand, don't unnecessarily become upset with people. They're like courier people. They're like postman. They're coming and delivering us whatever is already there in our bank account, whatever we have already ordered in our action. So when we see people not as 100% responsible, but like somebody who is acting like a courier, they delivered whatever I deserve it. And okay, now what can I do with it? What lesson I can learn? And for my own peace of mind, for own my this thing, I want to forgive. That's why again coming back to the same, yoga, pranayama, meditation, chanting mantras will give you strength from inside. If you want to forget some bad experience, if you want to come out of some anger, all that requires internal strength. Somebody may be very strong outside, but if you're not strong inside, you will not be able to let go that anger. You'll not be able to let go that hatredness. You'll not be able to let go. To let go, you need strength from inside. And the strength comes when you give food inside. Now, like if you don't eat for 3 days, you become very weak. You'll not be able to sit and talk because you're not eating. So if you want to feel strong, then you have to give food. So the food for our soul, food for our mind, food for our intelligence is meditation, chanting the mantras. When you do that, you are actually feeding the food. And by eating that food, internally you feel very strong. So this is what I can say about this forgiveness.
Absolutely. Following up on this question, somebody asked, is it fine to forgive every time? Should we forgive every time, everyone?
Okay. Now here, this question has one misconception. Please do not confuse forgiveness equal to trust. Forgiveness is different, trust is different. See, I forgive you, but I may not trust you. These are two different things. Like when you're asking me every time should I forgive, it means what? I forgave once, that person cheated me once again, right? So if somebody is meaning that, forgiveness means I don't carry any ill feelings towards you. I don't carry anger or grudge and feel that unhealthy inside me. For my own good, I don't think about it. I just leave it go. Okay, I'll not think for any what is that? How to take revenge for you and all that. But I will be careful. Forgiveness is given. Trust is always earned. The other person has to earn our trust by their character, by their behavior. Only when they demonstrate that that they deserve, then forgiveness and trust both should be given. Forgiveness is for our own good and not to go behind that person's mistake. But trust is different. So don't mix these two things. If you ask every time should I forgive, means what? You're allowing you to get cheated again and again. That's not what I'm saying. You forgive, but be careful. Being careful is important. Yes.
Absolutely. The next question has come up from Fit Kushal sir. He is asking how many deity we can keep in our home of demigods and Krishna, and how to worship them. If you could have some insights.
Okay, these are all really some questions which requires a lot of explanation, but I'll try my best. Ideally, we keep the deity of Lord Krishna. According to Shastras, when you worship Krishna, you're worshipping the everyone. It is like when you put water to the root, the whole tree is taken care. You don't have to put water again separately to every leaf and every twig and branch and everything. But if you still feel, no, I love, like for example, I love Durga Devi, I love Shiva, I love Ganesha. You can keep when you worship, but you should have a right knowledge. What is the hierarchy of these deities? But if you ask me, if you worship the deity of Krishna, Shaligrama, with some tulsi leaves, with some flowers, that's enough. But if somebody feels I love and I want to have all of them, you can keep. There's no such rules and how many deities we should keep like that. But hierarchy is that we should not think all are equal. We should not think all are same. There is an hierarchy. Probably some other time, that is a separate topic. We can discuss and take more questions on this, because if I don't answer properly, you may get the wrong some understanding. So maybe we can discuss elaborately some other time.
I've taken up a very specific question next because we have got similar questions previously as well. From students, how to manage exam stress, how to manage depression with a lot of syllabus pending and stuff like that.
Okay, nice, wonderful question. See, the stress comes when you want to control your result. When you say, this is how my result has to come out, then you come under stress. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, learn the art of doing your duty. When you do your duty, there itself everything ends, because result is not completely in our hand. There are many things in the result. I'll give one simple example. You take the example of a farmer. You see, farmer, he can do agriculture. Means what? He can till the land, he can sow the seed. That is all under his control. But the rain is not under his control, right? So that means for him to get the final outcome, there is it's a combination of something under your control and something beyond your control. So what we can do is always what is under my control. If you are a student, preparation is under your control. covering the syllabus is under your control, trying to clarify the questions is under your control. That's all you can do. And memory is not under your control. After studying, how much you will remember during the examination is not under your control. And what all happens after examination is not under your control. So there are certain things not under our control. So the life is always like this. Something is under our control, something is out of our control. So the stress comes when we believe that everything is under my control. I want to control everything. So I want to control my final result. That will create a lot of stress. So the many CEOs and many leaders and Bhagavad Gita, what they teach is do the duty. We have to do our duty. Once we do our duty, your job ends, your game is over. After that, if you've done your duty well, mostly you will get results. And we have to accept that result. Acceptance is some other topic we can discuss later. How this acceptance of relationship, acceptance of our identity, acceptance of result, acceptance of success in our life, how to deal with it. Because many times people have problem with their, what they get in their life. So I say that if you learn to do your duty, you will not come under stress. Stress is, being peaceful is different from being lazy. We are not saying that, you should become lazy. We are saying that you should work hard. At the same time, you should be peaceful. Both should happen together. And that is possible if you learn how to do your duty. Duty means I'll do everything, all my efforts, I'll put my best efforts, but I don't believe that I control the final result. I only do my efforts. The results are controlled by many other parameters. Like a farmer, the rain controls the things, weather controls things. Like that in my life, there are many other things controlled. So when we realize all these things, we can come out of stress.
Right.
And of course, if you start your preparation well in advance, you will not have much stress. You cannot start your preparation in the last moment and say that how to come out of the stress. Nobody can help you, and God also cannot help.
Right. Absolutely. So another general question: how to manage time and how to manage your, schedule, because everybody is facing issues with that. Yes.
Wonderful. Simple way to solve this time management problem is you have to learn to prioritize. Those who do not know how to prioritize, that means what is important, what is less important, what is not important. When you mix all these things and you try to do everything, then time is not sufficient. If you know how to prioritize, because when you have time, you should always do what is the highest priority things, right? So you cannot be doing anything and everything and then say that, oh, I have very less time. So this is probably another day we can elaborately discuss. I can give many more examples for that, but simple answer for this is if you learn to prioritize, and then your time management is like a cakewalk. Everybody should know this. Like you should understand out of 3 tasks I have, which is the most important task I have to do right now. When you do that, then time management is possible.
Absolutely. I think we have covered a lot of questions today. Questions will keep coming up, but Prabhuji has limited time. We won't ask him to stay longer. Thank you so much for coming up today. I'll just like to highlight that we also have our application available on Google Play Store, where we build communities, different spiritual, religious communities of different faith, belief, and everybody can discuss like we are discussing today here. We like to invite everybody to join the application. It's free of cost. It has a lot of positivity, and every festival from every corner of the world is celebrated on the application. So that is also something that we have been exploring. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for coming up today. And we'll definitely like to have another session on how to accept in life. That is something I also look forward to. So thank you so much for your time. Any last words you would like to highlight before we drop off today?
I recommend all of you to please follow this Instagram page and download the app and please use. This is something very, very happy young people like you, taking up this and spreading this positivity, happiness throughout the world is something I'm very happy, pleased with. Wish you all the best, and I hope there is more and more success for this attempt. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.